People look at stories through different lenses. I have my own personal take on some of these trending issues. Hi, I'm Mariah Ramharack and welcome to Incase You Missed It. Making the headlines last week, Jamaica's Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce becomes the second fastest woman in history. But does she have what it takes to break the world record? England bowler Ollie Robinson finds himself at the centre of fierce debate over past tweets. Should he be given a second chance if ECB investigation proves offensive tweets were isolated?
Welcome to another edition of In Case You Missed It. Don't forget to stay tuned for our interactive section where I will review a few of your social media comments from last week's episode. Let's get started. Two-time Olympic champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce left opponents quaking in their spikes ahead of this summer's Tokyo Games with an almost superhuman run this week. The time, 10.63, was the fastest in almost 33 years, but perhaps more importantly, also inched her a bit closer to a mark long thought to be untouchable. The 10.49 seconds world record of United States sprinter Florence Griffith Joyner. Can Fraser-Pryce do the unthinkable and finally break it? Well, Shelly sure makes it tough to bet against her. Flojo's record has itself long been a source of controversy outside of unproven allegations of drug use. Another bit of debate that has surrounded the famous mark set at the US trials in 1988 has to do with the wind. The time, which slashed almost 0.3 of a second of the previous world record of 10.76, had a wind reading of 0.0, despite reports suggesting very windy and gusty conditions. With all that being said, however, it has remained on the IAAF record books as the mark to beat and looked untouchable, perhaps until now. For many looking on, including former TNT sprinter turned analyst and coach Atto Boldon, Fraser-Pryce could have gone faster this week. Now, don't get me wrong, 10.63 is still a far way from 10.49, but breaking the record certainly seems much less of a fantasy these days. And in fact, it is not a stretch to say that if Fraser-Pryce could achieve the impossible by breaking the record, with all the controversy surrounding it and what it would mean to women sprinting, it would be a bigger achievement than the time set by Sprint King Usain Bolt. In an illustrious career, Fraser-Pryce has made it a habit of rewriting the rules in terms of what's possible. At 34 years old, she has not only said but proven that age is just a number and repeatedly silenced doubters with her work ethic, patience, and determination. When she struck gold in the women's 100 meters at the Doha World Championships, she became the oldest female sprinter to win a global 100-meter title. Amazingly, 2 years later, she's running even faster than that. Lest we forget, another incredible Jamaican, Merlene Ottey, broke the country's national record and ran one of the fastest times in history at 36. After her last incredible achievement, Fraser-Pryce herself gave us a window into her thought process. If I'm able to run 10.6 now, I'm just looking forward to what the process will bring. I'm continuing the work because I did say that this year I wanted nothing more than to break the 10.7 barrier, and I did it. It's not impossible to believe that for this incredible sprinter, who clearly doesn't believe in limits, the 10.6 and 10.5 barriers could be the next hurdles on her agenda. How far those aspirations can take her, only time will tell, but the world will wait anxiously to see. Well, also trending this week on Sunday, the ECB suspended bowler Ollie Robinson from international cricket, pending an investigation into tweets posted in 2012 and 2013. The body promised to take relevant and appropriate action after historical tweets from several players were also questioned publicly. According to reports, a second England player posted historically offensive material, before other tweets by Owen Morgan, James Anderson and Joss Butler were highlighted. The 27-year-old Robinson was dropped from the squad for the second test against New Zealand at Edgbaston and left the England camp to return to his county, Sussex. The issue has, however, continued to be hotly debated. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson weighed in to say he was supportive of Culture Secretary Oliver Dowden, insisting the ECB had gone over the top and should think again. His intervention was, however, flatly dismissed as unwelcome by former England batsman Mariah Ramharack. For me, the issue raised several questions. Is it fair to punish someone for something they did when they were much younger? And if we continue to harshly punish every single action, does it do more harm than good? What about second chances? Shouldn't there be teachable moments and the opportunity for behavioral reform? Where are you guys on this one? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Before we wrap this week's episode, let's address some of those comments that stood out from last week. Lawrence sends his congratulations to Shai Hope on his test recall. We are all definitely rooting for a good performance from all our Windies players. Dale says, solid show, thank you, and I look forward to your continued support and comments. Danielle is sending best of luck to Shai Hope. I agree, Danielle. It's time for our beloved West Indies to get back to winning ways. As usual, it has been a pleasure being with you, and I look forward to your comments. Bye, and I'll see you next week.